because it wasn't working. And I must wait until people arrive, so I think I'll twiddle my thumbs. I'll shuffle my cards. I'll readjust the lights, waiting for people to show up. Hi! We made it work. We made it happen. The lighting is a little weird, but I'm just kind of waiting for people to see that I rebooted. No guarantees, but send me vibes that my Wi-Fi won't conk out again. Hang on. It's a little bright. How y'all doing? Hello, hello, hello. Glad you're here. Hi, Zena. It was just moments that I was up and then I got knocked off, and so, not knocked off, but you know what I mean. Knocked off the internet. And well, here's the thing. I just deleted that video that they're watching on, so I'm not really sure how they're still watching it. I have no control. Having a YouTube channel is like an exercise in relinquishing control. Seriously. So tell the others if you can. I mean, but I just deleted that upload of that first video. And I'm just going to do my best to cover as many topics as I can. I don't know, maybe it's going to work. Welcome to the Psychic News Network. I'm Annette Dion. I'm the host and founder of the one and only Psychic News Network. I'm glad that you're here. We have a lot to unpack. I was happily busy today doing readings, so I kept checking in on the news, and I know that we have lots to go over. So if you have specific questions, you just got your notification. Good. I'm glad you're getting notifications. I feel like I'm a little crooked. You know. Crooked. Okay, so I'm AC free, and I have a fan going back there. I might actually move the fan too, jumping around a little bit. It's kind of too hot to jump around, so we'll just go with, there'll be a nice breeze coming in. I want to read something to you. And I am going to jump up because I can't do that without my glasses. So talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So we're still here. Yay! These are earrings I got from a farmer's market. Was it last year or the year before last? And in honor of the new moon in the sign of Cancer, which was yesterday, and we did a show, Kathy Beal and I, and it's under the videos, because speaking of Wi-Fi issues, we had Wi-Fi issues at the Streamography studio, and it must be the heat. So we had to upload it. We had to pre-record it and then upload it, and that took a very long time. I haven't watched it. I wanted to kind of watch it to see what Kathy said. There's so much astrology, and she just won the Omi Award for like the greatest astrologer ever or something like that. Kathy, you out there? She might show up. Anyway, tons of information. She's a great... Barbara loved the podcast. She's a great astrologer, and I'm glad that, you know, Kathy Beal and I have very low viewership numbers on YouTube, but it's no reflection on quality. We're going for quality, perhaps not quantity, although I would like my numbers to, I don't mean to speak for her, but I think everybody wants their numbers to be higher, especially if they used to be higher and then they dropped, and you're just pouring all your heart and soul into what you're doing. The news is that Trump is really going ballistic. Here I am. Trump is going ballistic. Like I mentioned the other day, on Monday, I think it was Monday, that some people come in with such strong soul impressions in their soul blueprint that they can't really get that they're in a different time, and this time that we're in is different from what it was like pre-1750s, which was when most people had zero freedom. Long time ago, but it's when America got her freedom, a little after the 1750s. So Trump is kind of stuck, just like Ron DeFascist is stuck in this mindset with this strong soul impression in his soul blueprint. That's the way I describe it. That he has dictatorship authority and that standing. And Ron DeFascist is the same way. Really thinking that they're in a fascist dictator form of government. They can't convince themselves otherwise. When I tune into Trump, it's very disturbing energy. And I posted today because I saw on Morning Joe they were showing clips. I guess apparently Trump had an interview last night with Sean Hannity. I didn't see that. Oh, you like the picture of the docked fishing boats? Nice. That's what it looks like around here. I didn't see the interview that Trump did, I think it was last night, with Sean Hannity. But I did see a couple clips, and in these clips, what he's been doing repeatedly, I want everyone to follow this thread. What Trump has been doing repeatedly as of late in succession is praising President Xi and Vladimir Putin. I haven't heard him praise Kim Jong-un yet, but that might be next. But the reason that hasn't happened yet is that Trump is focused on, all eyes are on him, and that praise, they literally praise Vladimir Putin, as does Trump. They praise them. And the reason that Trump is doing that right now, I mean, it came to me like, whoa, I should have had a V8. Remember that commercial? It came to me like, there it is, that he's doing that because he knows that they're watching, and he's appealing to them by praising the dictators. He's appealing to the dictators to help him to steal the presidential election in November 2024. It's 107 degrees. Where? Cheryl? We'll be talking about that too. There's so much news. So my take, my psychic impression, is a reason that Trump is praising Putin and President Xi. And I mean, he's just going on about it. It's sick. It's sickening. They're such heinous human beings that they're murderous, heinous human beings. And he's praising them because he's appealing to them to help him. That sends a chill through my veins, which feels pretty good right about now to think about. Anyway, here's the other thing. Cheryl, I thought you were in Maine. You're talking about it's hot in Texas, but are you in Texas? Dale says it's such desperation that Trump is doing this. He's pretty desperate. Yeah, I have to agree with that. He's pretty desperate. Tweet Scotchy sent me this, but I do already receive these. But since she just sent it, it's going to be easy to get to. Okay. It was from Heather Cox Richardson's newsletter, which I do receive, but it was, it's good to have it in front of me. This is really important, so we're starting with this. This is extremely important, so we're starting with this. You didn't get booted off, Gloria. I had to reboot. And there's no guarantees that my Wi-Fi is gonna stay on, but we'll just project that out to the universe. This is what Trump is saying. So first of all, he's appealing to the dictators by praising them on national television because he knows they're watching. And he's appealing to them and praising them because he wants their help in overturning our American democracy. And I did read this. I'm very aware of it. It really was. I cannot tell you how much fascism scares the hell out of me, as it should. Donald Trump and his allies are planning to create a dictatorship if he ever returned to power. Trump is planning to create a dictatorship. He's not hiding it. He's saying it in plain English and plain view. This is what I want. I don't think he used the word dictatorship, but what he described is he wants a dictatorship. Talking about the New York Times article, talks about how Trump and his loyalists plan to centralize more power in the Oval Office by increasing the president's authority over every part of the federal government. They plan to take control over the independent government agencies and get rid of the nonpartisan civil service, purging all but Trump loyalists from the United States intelligence agencies. Plans to eliminate the State Department and the Defense Department. They plan to start impounding funds, that is, ignoring programs that Congress has funded if those programs aren't in line with Trump's policies. If you're just joining us, I'm reading you what Trump, and this is what was on his mind on January 6th and prior to it. So hang on. This is really important. What we're trying to do is identify the pockets of independence and seize them, said Russell Vought, who ran Trump's Office of Management and Budget, and who now advises the right-wing House Freedom Caucus. They envision a president, quote unquote, who cannot be checked by the Congress or the courts. They're planning, Trump's plan in his mind, I'm not saying he's going to win. His plan in his mind is to create an American dictatorship. I'm not saying this to scare you, I'm saying this to inform you. Trump's desire to grab the mechanics of our government and become a dictator is not new. Both scholars and journalists have called it out since the early years of his administration. What is new here is the willingness of so-called establishist Republicans, who I call fascists. Hey Kathy, I just gave you a big shout out. What is new here is the willingness of so-called establishment Republicans to support this authoritarian power grab. I'm just going to read that much of it. That's from Heather Cox Richardson. If you want to receive a copy of it, I'll be happy to forward it to you or subscribe to her newsletter. It's AnnetteDion7@gmail.com if you want me to forward that to you. Like I said, I already do receive Heather Cox Richardson's newsletters. It's just like $5 a month. And I've been beside myself, and we really have to get involved. So when I ask people to please join Grassroots of Democracy by going to grassrootsofdemocracy.com, it's because we have to save our country from this. All hands on deck. Don't take your eye off the ball. This is serious. We have to save our liberty. That there are people in this country that are so brainwashed that they want fascism makes me shudder. It's unbelievable. So let's take a look at the cards, shall we? This is another bell that somebody sent me. I really like this one. Yes, Electrostorm, 100% agree. The national media has got to stop pretending that Trump is not a dictator. He's spelling it out. It couldn't be more glaringly spelled out. He says it. He says it. Cheryl went to San Antonio, Texas. Wow. Okay. Anyway, we're gonna pick a few cards and see how the Trumpster is doing. Well, the orange Cheeto. It's unbelievable. Hang on a second. On the news, 2 mothers sued Texas about their abortion law, put them at risk. I have a lot to say about that, but I don't think I'm going to say it right now. Except to say it hit really close to home, literally, this past week. How traumatizing it is to women that when a pregnancy goes wrong, they can't get the medical care that they want. How Trump is doing. I forgot to get some watermelon. Kathy's asking, what are my thoughts on that American soldier defected in North Korea? You got to be more specific. I have a lot of thoughts. You probably don't want to get me started. I mean, just in general. My parents used to say this about me when I was young. They would just stop and they'd be listening to me. I don't know what I'd be saying, but Annette, you're so deep. Damon's back! Damon! I have a special bell for you. He looks like death warmed over Trump. Is that what you're saying? This is Trump's energy right now. I mean, I know I just really brought everybody down, but we have to face the reality. We can't be worried about being brought down. On the positive flip side of this is people are going to get so scared that they will do something, but they have to know to be scared of that they're pushing dictatorship in the United States of America. It has happened in other countries. A lot of other countries. How Trump is doing right now, he's freaking exhausted. He's really bogged down with all the, my gosh, we do need to know what we're up against. And I'm going to continue to pound my table and tell you what we're up against. Your father said you were a preacher when you talked political. Dad was. This isn't about politics. Let me just say this. I'm reading on Trump right now. This is not about politics. This is about living. This is about our survival as a human species. This is not about politics. This is about remaining a free human. Can I get a witness? Are you with me? This is not about whether you're a Republican or a Democrat. This is about whether you want to survive. And I wrote a doozy to MSNBC on Monday. Write to them. Damon's a witness. Write to them. Write to all of them. Write to them repeatedly. Don't be shy. They don't know who you are. And what do you care? You should be proud to want to save democracy. Jeez. So Trump is exhausted. Just exhausted. Don't watch any of the news? How are you going to know what's going on? Do you just watch me? Some people have told me that. The Nine of Cups. Trump is like, it's kind of like this. The feeling that I get about him right now, besides he's absolutely freaking exhausted, Trump is just exhausted. And his brain's not working properly. So aside from all the threats of dictatorship that he's just blatantly spelling out. Are you talking about Trump looks like death warmed over? Oh, please hit the thumbs up if you can. Are these cards extra big? I'm holding them really close. Might just be your eyes. Sometimes I use little cards. These are just normal size. Okay. Join what channel to get access? What are you talking about? Okay. I'm all confused. Anyway, Thank you, Sharon. This is about Trump. So you know when, have you ever been broke? Yes, you do pay attention, Damon. Have you ever been broke? Because I get that this is like, say you just needed some cash or some money and you needed it quickly and you were like going through the seat cushions in your car and the cushions in your couch and you were looking for spare change, you were looking for a dollar or two. This is what Trump is doing right now. He's looking everywhere for money. And lawyers. I pick up for lawyers too. He's exhausted. He's got so many trials, indictments coming at him. And you're talking about the soldier in North Korea. I'll read about that very briefly. Or you find that $20 in a winter jacket, but you're looking for it. Exactly what I'm talking about. That's the energy around Trump right now. He's searching everywhere for money. Let's see if he's having any success. That's another reason, like when I started out, I was telling you that he's praising President Xi and praising Putin on national television, knowing full well, I think Thomas is here, knowing full well that they're watching because he's out of money and he needs help. Not that they're going to hand money over to him. They could, but I don't get that. But they can certainly help him to manipulate the American people's minds to get him and to manipulate the vote to get him to win. Right? He's searching for money. A thief searching for money. Dangerous. Okay. So let's see. So that's why he's appealing to them. He wants their help. If you do nothing else, raise people's awareness. Okay. Is he going to get the money that he needs to fight back? Is Trump going to get the money that he needs to fight back? It's up in the air. It's up in the air. Right now, it's in process. Really? He's looking, but right now it's undetermined if he's going to get Damon. I'll help him, all right. Send him to me. We missed you. We miss you when you're not here. Okay, well let's do this. Are Xi and Putin listening and considering helping him to interfere in the election? Andre said his chart is real bad. We read it on it yesterday too. I mean, Kathy Beale told us about his chart. Is President Xi planning to help Donald Trump to get elected? Is he kind of having that on his mind? Okay, so President Xi is not planning to help Trump get elected. Is whoever that guy Putin is the Kremlin planning to help Trump this time again? Is the Kremlin planning to help Trump to win the next election? It doesn't look like that's a yes. Sandy had a dream that she saw the orange Mussolini in handcuffs. I told you indictments were coming soon. He has been targeted. A while back, I read that the January 6th, it kind of kept flipping around, but originally, when I first started looking at which was the more incriminating and which would be the first case to go to trial, and I got that it was January 6th. Trump won't win. I think, okay, wait, no, he won't, but I'm just telling you, that's where we are right now, is we're at choice point, right? So I got that President Xi isn't planning to help Trump, and nor does it look like the Kremlin is planning to help. I really don't, I'm not getting that they're planning to help him. But he's trying to, he's praising them. And I can't believe, maybe I missed it, that all the national news, well, not Fox, obviously, they work for the Kremlin, but I cannot believe that that's not the first and foremost thing that the news is talking about. Guess what? Trump said he wants to turn America into a dictatorship. And the Republicans are saying nothing about it. I think that I caught briefly that Mitt Romney said something about January 6th, or it's like, I don't know. Let's ask that. Where are the Republicans? We're going to ask. Yeah, Russia doesn't have the money, but they have the hackers. They have the psychological warfare, but actually the pendulum said no. And I was thinking about financially. Is the Kremlin planning to help Trump? Is the Kremlin planning to help Trump? I don't get that they are. So there's that. I'm going to pick 3 cards, and what the hell are the Republicans, like the real old-fashioned Republicans? There are some. Why aren't they saying anything? No, I don't, electric storm, it's not that simple. The national media is owned by Republicans. It's not that simple. It's not that simple. If the national media was owned by actual Republicans, no. I'm not picking that up. Not at all. Yeah. I feel like Russia's too mired in the war in Ukraine. You think Prigozhin was behind the trolls guessing? Oh yes, that's true. That's true. Thanks for reminding me of that. Prigozhin, he was. That's factual. Prigozhin was behind the hackers in Russia. Darren's going to cut the watermelon. I didn't have time to go get watermelon tonight, but boy, it would really be good right now. I do have tea. Thomas is in the house with his watermelon. Yeah, I'm not arguing Electric Storm. I'm just saying I don't pick that up, right? Because that's what we're here for. We're here to share our impressions. And if you have a different impression, I'm still friends with you. It doesn't matter. The Republicans not speaking out. They have hell to pay if they speak out. I don't know why. I don't know why. Oh. This is exactly what I get about why Republicans aren't speaking out. They're afraid that they will be punished and lose their money. It's that simple. No, it's not iced tea. But it's cold now because I brewed it a while ago. The Republicans aren't speaking out because they're afraid of losing money. Can you believe it? They're afraid of losing money. But they also know that and this is the second time I've picked up on this, but the last time I picked up on this, it was about Joe Biden. I feel like Joe Biden is in a good position, and he has in the back of his mind the DOJ is going to indict the insurrectionists that are in our government that were part of January 6th. Afraid of losing money. I can't even believe it. That's what they're so worried about. They're afraid of losing money. They equate money with power. Differences of opinions is a good thing, and I think it's great if we have differences of opinions, and I like raise my voice and I go, no, that's not it. I still love you. The Republicans are losing money in donors, yeah. Remember last year at this time we were watching the January 6th hearings, and remember how bowled over we were by those? So yeah, the Republicans aren't speaking up because it's literally that stupidly simple. They're afraid they'll lose their money. And I know people are saying they're afraid they'll lose their seats and their positions, but no, it's they're afraid they'll lose their money. not serving the people of this country. But also, they also know, I mean, they should be speaking out, but I really feel like there's an inside scoop that the people that were involved in the insurrection, so I was asking about the like semi-normal Republicans, why they're not speaking out, and and actually it makes sense, because Mitch McConnell way back when, after Trump's impeachment, he said he wasn't going to vote to impeach Trump, but Mitch McConnell said justice will, serve Trump and he'll get his due, in other words. So for me to think from these cards to get the impression that the, say, normal Republicans are not speaking up, I get the same thing that I got about Joe Biden when he thinks about the next year. They have on their minds that the justice is going to get them, that justice is going to get the insurrectionists, including the ones that are acting so heinous and fascist. The Republicans that aren't fascists are just waiting to see justice served. So they must kind of know. Georgia was the straw that broke the insurrectionists back in a lot of ways. Remember the night before, John Ossoff and Warnock won in Georgia. We really have been through it, haven't we? What I mean by normal Republicans is they're not MAGA. Silence equals complicity. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. Somebody wanted to know about the boohoo for the fascist GOP. Somebody wanted to know about the soldier who did a little stupid thing and got himself captured in North Korea. The energy there is really, really icky and really bad. So I'm going to read on that and move on. The soldier in North Korea. I don't know what he was thinking. I mean, the guides are just saying absolute stupidity. Absolute stupidity. Yeah, he's not doing so good. The U.S. soldier that went over to North Korea is not doing so good. He lost his mind. Yeah, I agree with you. He's not doing so good. Yeah. So Damon, yeah. Well, I don't know. We don't know what's going on with him, but he's not doing so good. He's being, well, what's his name? Does anybody know his name? I didn't really read about it today. He's not doing so good. He's completely freaked out. The North Koreans, Kim Jong-un is looking at him as a chess piece. I actually do see a deal happening between North Korea and the United States that it looks like the United States is going to have to allow something that Kim Jong-un wants. He had legal problems in South Korea. Yeah, I don't feel like that they're going to treat him like he's all that important. But what a dummy. Travis King. I mean, that was really stupid. I also get that he had no idea what would happen. You think alcohol played a huge part in it? Let's take a look. Yeah, he's only 23. That was a really stupid thing to do. I mean, you can be 23 and be smart. Was he drunk when he did that? Was he drunk? It looks like he was drinking. Hi, Rondaroo. Yeah, that was really, yeah, so that's what I'm saying. He had no idea. I get that he was drinking. He's not in his right mind. He's a very disturbed person, and he's especially a lot more disturbed now. And I pick up this energy that he wants to die. So that's why I didn't want to really look at it. But it's okay, so we're done with that. We need a happy topic. Does anyone have a happy topic? Thank you for your donations. I appreciate it. They suspect him yeah, that's what I pick up. He's being interrogated. Yeah, that's what the cards are saying. That was the Eight of Pentacles. Yikes! But I got that he was drinking. And I also got that he had no idea. I don't know how he would have no idea. He was held for 47 days in jail in North Korea. I wonder why we're just hearing about it now. Okay. I'm going to read about, next, I'm going to read about the abortion bans. As I mentioned earlier, I hit really close to home this past week. And I got kind of a firsthand kind of a sense, even though I thought about it, that there are a lot of women in very tragic circumstances right now. So somebody put up the women whose lives were put at risk because they weren't able to receive adequate the medical treatment that they needed when their pregnancy went wrong. They were actually in a position where the hospitals could have allowed them to just die, right? Where it was really, really risky. I urge everybody to do whatever you can to get women's rights back. Because when it's somebody that is a relative and that happens to them, it's tragic enough. It's tragic enough to lose a baby in the womb. And it's unthinkable. It's unthinkable what they're putting women that are pregnant and have complications in pregnancy. Unthinkable what those families go through, what everybody, it's all, and it's unnecessary. And I live in a blue state and abortion is legal, and the situations like that can be treated medically the way they need to be treated to save the life of the mother. People don't understand, just like people aren't thinking about it unless it hits close to home. Every single woman has to rise up and participate. This is like torture. This is like torturing women. And I do have, and next time I'll play it for you. I have a little clip that was on Midas Touch. I'll investigate it further, but it was somebody was chewing out somebody who was pro-life and just going really off on her about you are not pro-life to be this heinous. It's just, what? Are you talking about watermelons? Do you remember the trick that I told you that I read about? If the white stripes on the watermelon are two fingers width wide, then it's supposed to be good. Anyway, I'm asking about the abortion bans. It's a sickness. This pro-life stuff is a sickness. They want all these babies to be born, but the worst thing is complications in pregnancy, that they just want to let the mother die. So then they both die, right? And they're refusing to do anything. The fascists are refusing to do anything about global climate change. Do they really think that this is a good world and that they're going to help those children when they're born without solving any of the problems that we're having? No, it's not pro-life. Yeah, we have to do something. And it's heinous all around. But when you think about a mom having complications in her pregnancy she could die. And they can't give her the medical care that she needs. So I really want to know what happened in Texas with those two women that are suing the state. It's always about control and not life, yes. The Queen of Cups, that seems like a good thing, but it's going to be because these stories come out. It's going to be because these stories come out. That's the women. I can't imagine being a doctor whose hands are tied that can't save the life of the mother. Or is like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Do I lose my law license? All the money that they spent to go to medical school, the oath that they took. The Queen of Cups indicates that the women are really looking at this, at how to flip this around right now. Huge burden. We're going to hear more stories. Yeah, to go to jail? To go to jail because you saved the mother's life? The Knight of Wands. I feel like the legal system is going to start chipping away at these abortion bans. That's why doctors are leaving red states. It's 9 women in Texas. Am I reading that right? Lawsuits. I see the lawsuits. We definitely need to codify Roe. It's unbelievable. And when it's somebody that you know, somebody like a family member, it's devastating. It's awful. There are no words. So it looks like it's going to be the lawsuits that are going to just chip away at these abortion bans. But I'm going to read on the Supreme Court. I'm going to read on the Supreme Court and if we're going to see changes there. I know, Rose Blue, sorry you were on another live. Do you mean mine? Because I had to reboot. I deleted the upload of that one that I had to reboot. My Wi-Fi wasn't working. The Supreme Court. Now I feel a breeze. I'm taking a survey. My mom used to say if you put the fan in the window facing out, that it sucks the warm air out of the room. I'm seeing if that works. I don't know. Do you guys have an opinion on that? The Supreme Court. Actually, this is connected to the abortion bans. The Supreme Court. The abortion bans. This is the moon. The sun is going to this is illumination of the effects. I really get that we're going to be hearing more and more and more about women, pregnant women who have complications, whose lives are in jeopardy because of these draconian, heinous, torturous, murderous abortion bans. And so I have to have a cross breeze for that to work with the fans. It seems to be working now. I have a little bit of a cross breeze, not too much. So the moon is the emotions. It's also about the women's cycles. This will be illuminated. People are going to be more and more aware. Yeah, the inside ear is harder than the outside. Yeah, okay. Thank you. I think I got my answer. Who should we save? The mom? No, we would save the baby. Who said that? Sounds like Darren was having a conversation with somebody about this. There's no question. There's no question marks here. You don't let the mother die like that. If there's something wrong with the baby in the womb, the baby won't survive. You don't let the mother die. You don't put the mother's life in peril. This situation is going to be illuminated. There's going to be a huge light shown on it. Mother comes first. Yes, absolutely. And we're talking about babies in the womb that won't make it. And they try to save them. Okay, somebody's a recovering Catholic. I was going to have a class on healing Catholic guilt. Even in the Bible, mothers come first. This is an intense topic. It really is. The women will win, but it's going to be after we know more about these heinous, heinous, heinous situations. People wonder why you left the Catholic Church. I got fired from the Catholic Church. I was playing there as a musician. Because I'm a witch. I'm a good witch. Anyway, I really had to read on that. Please join us at Grassroots of Democracy. Please join us at Grassroots of Democracy. Please join us at grassrootsofdemocracy.com. If I have a class on healing Catholic guilt, would you come? Because I've been thinking about it for years. I healed mine. See, I started my own church because people need it, right? What did I do? What did I do to get fired? I played for the church for 11 years. Never missed a service. Didn't get paid very much. 11 years. And then I played, and then after that, I spent 5 years playing for a Methodist church, and they were very sweet people. So, Damon, you're hilarious. No, the new head priest that came in saw a promotion of mine that in a coffee shop that I was promoting tarot readings, and he had me fired. Told me to call him. Said tell her to call me, and I did. I called 6-7 times, and he never answered my call. You'd like to know more about all the new genders we are discovering through our conversation about sexuality? I don't know what you mean by you'd like to know more about all of the new genders we are discovering. I'm so confused. Where's the moon today? The moon is still in Cancer. Goes into Leo. It goes into Leo tonight in the wee hour of the morning. That'll be much different energy. Okay. Let's read on Jack Smith, shall we? Unfazed. I'm reading on Jack Smith, and the word that pops into my mind is unfazed. Really? I'm just reading the chat. If you're Catholic, there's nothing against being Catholic. There's many Catholic things. I say the rosary daily. I have Mary on my little table over there. Yeah, it's. How do we get into like how many genders are there? Anyway, take the good, take what works for you and leave the rest. That's what I say. But if you come to Church of Spirituality, your whole life will get better. I promise. What I do is blasphemy to the priest. What I do is actually, to the priest it's blasphemy. But what I do is actually, I'm self-empowered and I empower other people. And that is what churches don't, the old-fashioned churches don't want that. And for that matter, governments, that are fascist and dictators don't want that either. The patriarchy, right? Yeah, and the Catholic Church is going to be closing soon. Jack Smith, unfazed. We're just going to read on how things are going. How he's feeling. I feel like he's hit his stride. Jack Smith has hit his stride. And he's just kind of keeping it to him. This is Jack Smith. He's keeping it to himself. My parents left the church too, actually, now that you mention it. Because I guess fortunately for me, when I was growing up, my parents called out the hypocrisy. They just said, we're not doing that anymore. It's the hypocrites. As soon as the pedophile priest, the second that started hitting the news, they were done. They were done. And I was like, the nerve of you. You find out that I read tarot cards and you get me fired. After all, I shouldn't be getting into this right now. Jack Smith, he's really keeping everything to himself. He's taken his time. He's the Five of Wands. It's funny because when I see the Five of Wands, I feel like I call it the marathon card. I call it like you have a goal and you're going to have to really work really, really hard, kind of around the clock kind of energy. but you're gonna get there and you're gonna cross the finish line and it's gonna feel so good. That's what I get about Jack Smith. And the Queen of Cups is coming up again, and this has to do with the divine feminine coming in energetically and correcting the wrongs. Aileen Cannon, I don't see her having the stupidity as far as Aileen Cannon goes. I said that I see a trial for Trump. In the documents cases, I see it in December. So I'm not sure if Aileen Cannon I'm not sure she's going to have the power to really affect this. You guys are so sweet. You're checking on each other to make sure everyone's okay. I mean, speaking of the Catholic Church, like we're talking about, I mean, you all saw me at the St. Peter's Fiesta. It's a total Catholic celebration. I'm not, like, stuck up or anything, you know what I mean? It's like, I take the good and I leave the rest. I'm a mutable sign. Okay, so as far as Aileen Cannon, I don't think she has the power to mess around. But we'll you see Cannon screwing up. I've never felt like people were all freaked out when they found out that, the secret documents trial would be in Florida and she'd be the judge, and she's so incompetent, it's not even funny. She doesn't know what she's doing. I feel like she's a high school girl. But I don't feel like she has any power, so I'm just going to pull 3 cards. Maria agrees with me. Just take what's good from churches that you've attended or churches that you do attend. Take what works for you and leave the rest. That goes for everything, right? Nobody's trying to force you to do anything. You think Trump is talking to who? To Burr? Who's Burr? Well, we're reading on Aileen Cannon, but just so you know, the other night I said she doesn't want to piss Jack Smith off, and I think that's absolutely true. Nature is your religion. You must be a witch like me. Or Native American, or both. Aileen Cannon. All eyes are on Aileen Cannon. Trump's on the phone with her. I definitely get the Trump's on the phone with her. I don't know if that's literal. I don't know if he's a... What was just going to come out of my mouth is, I don't know if that's legal. Duh. That doesn't matter to Trump, right? I feel like he's talking to Cannon, even if he's not supposed to. And for that matter, Walt Nadeau also. He's not supposed to be talking to him, and he is. But Trump is definitely on the phone with Aileen Cannon, begging. It reminds me of the recording that I think, Midas Touch, of course Midas Touch had this recording, this is a good segue in a little bit, of Jim Jordan when he was in trouble for hiding the sex crimes of that coach at Ohio State. I think that's where it was. And he was like panicked and freaking out. Boy, I opened up a can of worms with the Catholic thing. I'm sorry I mentioned it. I didn't want to make you all upset. Jim Jordan was freaking out when he was the assistant coach at Ohio State, and he was gonna get outed, and he called somebody up and begged and pleaded and cried. That's what Trump is doing with Aileen Cannon right now. But that's gonna be, I see a spotlight on that. I see that being illuminated. I don't know if we'll know about it, but I do see it found out. And the Queen of Pentacles, this is another female judge. I wonder if that's another female judge stepping in. Because I see a female involved in Aileen Cannon losing his power. Trump got the target letter. Do you see an indictment, and if so, when? This week. The indictments that I tend to call things a little early. I've definitely noticed that in my readings. I tend to call things a little bit early. Like I thought Kevin McCarthy would be out by now. He's on his way. Just so you know. Is this another judge that I'm picking up on? Yeah, okay, I'm picking up on another judge. Aileen Cannon will be replaced. Maryland, if Jim Jordan had worked at Penn State University instead of Ohio State University, he'd already be in prison. Yeah, I know. But he was freaked out. And I feel like maybe I need to have the Catholic class, because you're still not talking about Catholics. Yeah, okay, he knows. So Aileen Cannon is talking to Trump, and somebody's saying that I need to give credit where credit's due. Angela's saying Jack's not stupid, he knows they were talking. Yeah, I see a female judge. It looks like a female judge replacing her. Really? What? I think that Eileen's a little bit nervous, and I think if it weren't for, I know, like a psychic knowing, I know that if Aileen Cannon could get away with helping Trump, it's the first thing she would do. Your computer's acting up. I hope mine doesn't. But her hand, I feel like Eileen's hands are tied. And I remember when we first got wind that she would be on this case, that everybody was so freaking out. Just like when Jack Smith got appointed as special counsel, everyone was like freaking out. Same thing. I was like, this is great. I don't feel threatened by Aileen Cannon. I don't feel like she's a threat because she's afraid to do the wrong thing now. And it's really that. It's not that she doesn't want to help Trump. Mercury is not retrograde, but Uranus, if you watch our Spirit Talk podcast, it's under the videos, it's not under the live. We do talk about the Uranus influence right now and how technology is screwy. We just blame it on the planets. Now, Mercury is not retrograde right now. Nope. Alright, and the sun goes into Leo on Saturday, and things will really be heating up in America. I mean, temperature, yeah, but on the legal front, too. Okay, let's ask about Ted Cruz. I feel the hammer coming down on Ted Cruz. We're going to read on Ted Cruz. I'm going to do a little commercial in a minute. Yay to the Leos. Yeah, July 22nd, Venus retrograde in Leo. Yeah, and Kathy talked about that on our Spirit Talk podcast. I do have to go back and watch it again because there was so much in there. Ted Cruz. I'm reading on Ted Cruz. The DOJ has dirt on Ted. That's the America card. Yeah, you can't stand Ted Cruz in Texas. I think he's illegitimately in his seat. I think he smells bad, and I mean literally. I really do. And he's a heinous, heinous human being. I mean, we don't even personally know too many people that are as heinous as the people in our government. I hate to even say it. Yeah, the United States has, and Ted Cruz is pretty stupid, just so you know. And he won't be able to get on top of the cases against him. Cases, plural. The Four of Wands, yeah. I see him boxed in, Ted Cruz. And there's too much evidence against him. There's too much evidence against Ted Cruz. He's going to be boxed in. I see the boxed in energy. You do know I don't read the cards literally, right? Hardly ever. I read them in regards to the question. There's way too much evidence against him. We will be free of Ted Cruz. We'll be free of Ted Cruz. Bye-bye, Ted. You really like that night light with the changing colors. Oh, do you like that? I think, kind of highlight Betty. Cancun Cruz. Yes, that's who we were talking about. For some reason now, Josh Hawley just popped into my mind. We haven't heard anything about Josh Hawley lately. Betty is blurry. Sorry. Is it your computer? I want to read on Josh Hawley for some reason. He was very much part of the insurrection. Are we going to, let's ask the pendulum. Are we going to hear about an indictment or a subpoena for Josh Hawley? I wonder why we haven't heard anything about him. Are we going to hear about legal trouble for Josh Hawley at all? Yep. Yep. Beto will be in power. Don't you worry. Beto, our work is not done. We have to sweep all the slime or get one of those floor squeegees to get all the slime out. He's definitely keeping a low profile. You get kicked what? You get kicked. I can't read that. Is Josh Hawley going to be, is he going to be on trial? I see Josh Hawley on trial. Isn't this interesting? We must be patient. I know it's not easy. I'm picking 3 cards for Josh Hawley. Bye, Gloria. So sorry that you're having computer issues. Come back later. Watch it on replay. His wife was the one that brought the lawsuit about the... Oh. What's the GYS? I do know what you're talking about because I heard that. And now, there's going to be a term for it, I swear. It's just like when the news just becomes a whole, like, tangle in your brain because there's so much of it. Gaze. I'm just trying to remember what it was that his wife, Josh Hawley's wife, got in on. You have to call Comcast? Good luck. Josh Hawley, okay. Oh yeah, the King of Swords. Jack Smith is coming for him too. Go Jack. Once Jack Smith is done with all this in a few years, he's gonna just be like, oh man, I think I'll do another Iron Man. I mean, it's gonna be just like he's done his life purpose and then he can just relax. You haven't heard anything on Pinocchio? It seems like I saw something on Midas Touch today. The brain tangle has kept you from getting stuff done this week? Yeah, it's a lot to keep track of. I'll have to go back and read about Josh Hawley's wife, because I remember hearing about it, and then I just kind of, I can't recall exactly what it was. Hope Hawley can still run fast. Yeah, remember he put out a book about masculinity. Let me tell you something. If a guy has to put out a book about masculinity, he's not a masculine man. Just so you know. Josh Hawley. Justice is definitely coming for him. He's going to be very emotional. He's going to try to work out some kind of a plea deal. Is it going to work? Is he going to be able to get in lesser trouble? Josh Hawley. We're reading on Josh Hawley. Is he going to get into legal hot water? It's kind of going around. Let's see. Let me ask a more specific question. Is Josh Hawley going to be charged? Is he going to face charges? Yes, he is going to face charges. I'm kind of thinking back to January 6th, the hearings, the January 6th hearings. Like what was said about Josh Hawley. And we can look all this stuff back up on YouTube, the January 6th hearings. I'm trying to remember did they talk about Josh Hawley very much? The Dems are going after Pinocchio, George Santos. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. We haven't read on Pinocchio in a while. I don't know if Warren's in the chat, but he's the one that started the Pinocchio thing. Okay. Back to Josh Hawley. His wife put the case in with Judge Kaczmarek in Texas. Oh, to outlaw the abortion drug. Well, let's ask if she's going to get in trouble. Is Mrs. Josh Hawley, I wonder if she thinks he's masculine. Can you imagine being married to that sleaze bucket? Oh my gosh. Jeez. And I don't talk about people that way, but come on. They used to... If this was medieval times, it would have been off with their heads. Seriously. Or even later than that. Not that we want that. I'm just saying, it's pretty serious what he did. Is Josh Hawley's wife going to be in legal hot water? Yes. Oh, it was more than a thumbs up during the insurrection. It was a solidarity fist with the insurrectionists. It wasn't just a thumbs up. There's a different level of intensity and camaraderie there. What did she do? Will anything happen to Marjorie Taylor Greene for showing naked pictures of Hunter Biden in the whistleblower hearing today? Oh my God. She didn't. That one just bowled me over. Are you serious? Is that... Did she? Dumbfounded. Dumbfounded. Oh, Joe Biden's not happy about that. I'll tell you that. Whoa! Joe Biden is very protective of his son. Wow! The Josh Hawleys don't even live in Missouri? Oh, that's probably not legal either. Wow! I actually feel like Joe Biden is going to take some kind of measure about that. Like, given the order to hold her accountable. Hunter sent a cease and desist letter. Wow. Yeah, well that makes sense according to what I'm seeing is like I see Joe Biden. That's a bridge. She went too far. Is Marjorie Taylor Greene going to get in legal jeopardy for this? Oh yes. I couldn't even believe that when I heard this morning that they were actually going to waste taxpayer dollars yet again on a hearing about Hunter Biden when he was found, he plea dealed and paid his taxes late. He paid his taxes late, and he bought a gun, a handgun, I believe, without the proper something. Give me a freaking break. Hi, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Tell your friends. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, all that good stuff. She wants him. You're funny. That just bowled me over. I cannot believe when I ever heard they were doing this is, let's just say here, they got elected, I don't know, it's all suspect. They got elected to do the job of serving the American people. They got elected, the air quotes, they got elected. Yeah, he's a private citizen, hello. Is that illegal to have naked pictures? Because I don't know, you don't have to get all personal, but it's not illegal. We're going to read them now. They're wasting our money. This is a dereliction of duty to the, I don't know what degree, up to the moon degree. 3 cards about that. She's trying to get back into the Freedom Caucus. Beware of those words they use, by the way. Oh, don't children have access to C-SPAN? I don't see why not. It was photoshopped? How do you know it was photoshopped? Were you looking? And why would it be photoshopped? We're reading on Marjorie Trader Green. The Queen of Cups keeps coming up tonight. Quick, swift action against Marjorie Trader Green. Quick, swift action against Marjorie Trader Green. It is illegal. It is illegal. It is. It's what they did to Hillary. Wasting our... Think about this. How much money comes out of your paycheck if you're not self-employed and it just gets taken out? How much of your paycheck are you paying in taxes? It's different if you're self-employed. You have to kind of do it all and you don't really know till you do your taxes. But anyway, if you get paid by a company, look at how much you're paying in taxes and how much you'd like to have that money. And they're using your hard-earned taxpayer dollars for this BS. She sat and testified for 11 hours. Hunter should sue her. I'm seeing legal action. Joe Biden has had enough. I don't think he's going to be joking about Marjorie Trader Green anymore. I think it's going to get more intense than that. Will it be at Joe Biden's direction that she gets in legal trouble? Yep. Yep. Not a thing to do with anything. For Hillary, it was longer than 11 hours. It was days to try to pin Benghazi on her, and then Kevin McCarthy. There's video of Kevin McCarthy saying about the Benghazi thing. That's why we did it back in the day. Do not piss off a Scorpio. Good point. Good point, Kathy. Don't piss off a Scorpio. I have Scorpio rising. I get it. A lot of you know, when I'm done, I'm done. But you have to really have double-crossed me. Anyway, swift action, clear-cut case of being that was illegal. I mean, they just keep pushing and pushing and pushing. How heinous can we be? How heinous can we be? How heinous can we be? Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is really showing up tonight a lot. And I'm shuffling and shuffling and shuffling. This is the divine feminine, not Marjorie Trader Green. Marjorie Trader Green is a heinous monster of a person. And she's an insult to the feminine. I'm going to ask this. She already got ousted from the fascist Freedom Caucus. The Freedom Fascist Caucus that has nothing to do with freedom. Is this the end of Marjorie Trader Green? That it just, the pendulum just, yep. Yep, this is the end for her. And I've always seen her. This is a strong yes. This is too far. This is too far. Poor Hunter Biden. But I actually think that he's not feeling, I actually think Hunter Biden will be vindicated. I think Hunter Biden has a day of victory coming for him. Victory over this craziness. Bye, Marjorie. Bye, Marge. Wow. I can't wait to watch Midas Touch. I think Midas Touch is on right now. Wow. Anyway, it's getting late. Let me quickly tell you what's going on. Grassroots of Democracy, our discussion group is tomorrow night. Please, after I shared my very sad story of somebody close to me losing a pregnancy at 6 months, but fortunately getting the care that she needed. Please join us at Grassroots of Democracy. We need to get women's rights back. We need to save our democracy from fascism. Also, we meet on Saturdays and we do kind of a work session, but Thursday nights are great. It's all great. We do a guided meditation for a healed America on Tuesdays. Go to grassrootsofdemocracy.com to sign up for any of that. We're the only group that I know to save democracy that meets 2 to 3 times a week. I wish there were more, and I wish that more people would put in other people's chats, grassrootsofdemocracy.com. There was no Hunter Biden laptop. That was all made up. I'm gonna read, and I read about this the other night. Oh, what else? Oh, I didn't finish my commercial. Kamala is livid about the Hunter Biden thing. Kamala is beside herself. Remember, Kamala was a prosecutor, and Kamala was really close friends with Beau Biden. Kamala is going ballistic over this. She's raging. In a healthy way. Anyway. I want to read, if you want to book a reading, it's psychic.AnnetteDion.com. Book a reading. It's great. You will have all the information you need when you get a reading from me. PsychicAnnetteDion.com. There's more, but it's too hot to think. But frankly, I want to read about a turnaround in the American collective consciousness. That's what I'm reading about right now. Oh, and by the way, I am on Threads, and there's kind of following what's going on there and promoting Grassroots of Democracy. I did see, I think it's called muckrakers.com. They got Madison Cawthorn out of his seat. Remember that horrendous person, Madison Cawthorn? So it does happen. And also, wait, what are you doing? You said you were excited. Bought a house in Parma. Where's Parma? Yay! Sounds like good news. Let's see if the collective consciousness is changing in America. Oh, you're in Ohio. Congratulations. We like to hear good news. Midas Touch reporting that the Marjorie Trader Green just emailed revenge porn of Hunter to minors. She is done. She did you see that? Kathy? Did you see that? Is Marjorie Trader Green done? Yeah. I mean, I'm doing that for dramatic effect. It was yes. It was yes. What does she have for clout? When it sent an email to her constituents. Wow. I'm pulling 3 cards about the collective consciousness of America. Is it changing? That is freaking so disgusting. What kind of person is she? Taxpayer funded. What kind of human being is she? Now I'm picking 3 more cards about her. About Marjorie. I'm picking 3 more cards about her because I'm so upset. They were all desperate. Your astrology class will be analyzing her chart. When is it? Put the info up. We have to all join. Kathy, can you put the info up about your astrology class where we're going to look at Marjorie Trader Green's chart? Because I'm all in. Is the American consciousness changing? Yes, we're heartbroken. I mentioned yesterday, it got deleted because we had to fix the video, but I mentioned that on Midas Touch on Monday, Brett, and I was out loud, I was saying thank you for talking about it. Brett Mysalis was bringing up the topic that as Americans, yeah, I gave up on less than 90 minutes. That, it didn't really work. It didn't make a difference. Americans are traumatized by what these fascists have been putting us through for the past 8 years. We're traumatized. People just acting Rather than acting normal, acting with the absolute utmost cruelty. We cannot, it's too much. It's our bandwidth can't handle it. It's too much, and we are in, no more hourglass. Maybe I'll pull it back out just for fun, but I couldn't limit my video. I just, there's too much to read on. So an hour and a half, something like that. People pushing me around. So, this is a collective America. This is America, and we are picking up the pieces. More people are going to get involved in democracy. We're weighing it out. We are the collective energy of America. We are heartbroken. Is she just trying to raise money? I know Marjorie Trader Green was very much, from past readings, very concerned about money. She's got a lot of lawsuits. She's really, really worried about money. And the guy she was dating, I did a reading on that he was going to out her in a big way. She could sell her guns, I guess. Anyway, about the collective American psyche. It needs to be talked about. That's why I was glad that Ben Meiselas brought it up, because we have to talk about our collective trauma. You wonder if that was too far for Marjorie's supporters? Some of them. Some of them. We are done. And we need justice to happen. So we are picking up the pieces and we're balancing it out. More people are on board now with saving democracy than have been. So I just want to leave you with that hopeful. Wait, I haven't read the tea leaves. I almost forgot, and I have a few minutes left to get to an hour and a half. We shall see what the tea leaves have. Sorry, I know that's loud. I see a, what do they call, Cocopelli? The Native American, is it Cocopelli, thank you, Kathy. Yeah, the family member. Lost a baby at 6 months. Really awful. Anyway, she's healing. She has a lot of support. Cocopelli. Cocopelli's at the bottom of the cup. Remember I talked about the artists? The artists rising up, making waves, and I said I'm really inspired to write more social awareness songs, and you'll be thank you. You'll be seeing more of that. You'll be seeing more of artists stepping up. And all is well. By the way, thank you for your thoughts. All is well. I'm just grateful we have that there's no abortion ban here. Really, really grateful. Yeah, so hard. So hard. It used to happen to women a lot more than it does now because of the advances in medicine. Oh, thank you, Linda. Thank you for saying that. She's thanking me for not cutting back on my time. Yeah, I gave up on that. Anyway, the Cocopelli there's a lot of energy being stirred up with creatives. And remember, I talked for a long time on Monday about the strike, the writer's strike, the Hollywood writer's strike, and then Kathy sent me an article right afterwards that what I said was true, because Mark Ruffalo, and speaking of the Catholic Church, he was in the movie Spotlight about the investigating the pedophile priests. Mark Ruffalo, there was an article with him, I think he was being interviewed, I didn't read the whole thing yet, calling for the actors and writers to work on independent films. And so we are going to definitely see a huge explosion it's like a renaissance of art. So if you're an artist, take out your art and start doing it. I was talking to my streamography person last night about, after we recorded the show, about doing concerts from his studio. So I'm going to start doing it too. If you're an artist, do art. I can't wait. I'm excited. I started writing a new song last night even. I see a whale. That's a good thing. I see big happy news coming and the snakes put out to pasture. Nice. And the Mars energy is definitely going to disrupt. Oh, it's going to, the Mars energy coming in. I don't know. I think I have to go back and watch the video. Kathy, Mars was going into Virgo. Did I get that right? Okay. Mars is in Virgo. Yeah. So what I'm seeing in the cup is a lot of creative energy exploding and a lot of the snakes in our government being put out to pasture. Do they say that about snakes? Anyway, that's what I'm seeing. But the Mars energy is going to disrupt a lot of what's... I just see like... It's metaphorical, but I see... Like I said, structures crumbling, like the corporate structures crumbling. Stay optimistic. I know there's a lot of really hard news out there, but you got to balance it out. You got to look at, there's really good news too. I like to remind people all the time that January 6th, if they had succeeded and it was really intricately planned out by stupid people, they were coached by our enemies' countries, like Putin. January 6, 2021 could have resulted in us right now being under a fascist dictator, if it had worked. So when you need to be hopeful, when you need to find that hopeful energy, remember, it didn't work. Okay? I love you all so much. Please book a reading, psychic@AnnetteDion.com, and I'll be back also on Friday. Grassroots of Democracy meets tomorrow night. Go to grassrootsofdemocracy.com. Please just put your email address in. If you can't even make the meetings, you get all the notes afterwards. So you can kind of work on your own. Okay? So off I go. And I always forget to say something, but it's been almost 90 minutes. So that's all we have. Stay cool. We'll read on global climate change on Friday. I'm back on Friday for Friday Night Live at 7 p.m. live stream Eastern. One of these nights I'm going to broadcast from outside. I keep threatening to do that. See you soon. Namaste. Take good care. Bye.